You're so strong. You got it, you got it, you got it, mama. You got it.
Okay, stop scrolling, because what I'm about to tell you is going to live in your head rent-free for the rest of the day. There's a heartbreak nobody warns you about. It's not watching him walk away. It's watching him find peace in a place you were never invited into. And bestie, that peaceful place, it has a name, it has a face, and it is tied to the one woman she has been trying to erase from his story for over a year. 2 Olympic gold medals, 17 world championships, the strongest woman in the ring, and none of it can touch the one person who makes him feel calm. So grab your tea, lock in, and do not skip, because once you see what the internet saw, you cannot unsee it. Welcome back to Celeb Spill, where we don't just spill the tea, we read the whole leaf. Today we are not talking about Remy Ma, receipts, or ring camera footage. Today it's something quieter and 10 times more devastating. Hit subscribe and drop a comment, because this angle, nobody is brave enough to say it out loud. So let's fix that. For weeks, the internet has been dragging Papoose through mess after mess. The Remy Ma drama, the Claressa headlines, the 50 Cent ring camera claims, a divorce that got filed and then quietly withdrawn. Every day, a new clip, a new theory, a new headline, and then out of nowhere, he posts one quiet little moment with his daughter. He looks calm, centered, free, like not a single piece of that chaos could reach him in that tiny bubble. And the internet? Oh, the internet did not say, oh, no. The internet took one look at that peaceful photo and asked the most savage question you have ever heard. How does Claressa feel watching this? Not what a sweet dad. Not protect that baby girl. Nope. The very first instinct was to drag a woman who wasn't even in the frame. And bestie, the second that question dropped, this whole story changed forever, because they weren't asking about Remy anymore. Keep watching. It only gets messier. Here's the thing that flipped my whole understanding of this situation. The second that comment went viral, this stopped being about Remy Ma. It stopped being about who filed what, who screenshotted who said what on live. Suddenly, it was about a woman who wasn't even in the picture. And that is where it gets dangerous. Because listen, if fans said Claressa was jealous of Remy, fine. That's normal. Jealousy of an ex-wife, jealousy of history, jealousy of a name tattooed permanently into his skin. We've seen that movie 100 times, and honestly, it's boring. But that is not what they said. They said something sharper. They said she looked jealous of his peace. And peace, bestie. Peace is a whole different opponent. You can't screenshot peace. You can't clap back at peace. You cannot file a cease and desist against a man who simply looks happy. And that is why this one cuts so deep. But the reason it cuts this deep is a detail nobody saw coming. Let me break this down exactly the way the internet is breaking it down, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. A rival, you can beat a rival. You can outshine her, outpost her, outglam her, outarg her at 3 a.m. on the timeline. A rival can be replaced. A rival can lose the round and go home. But a daughter, sis, a daughter is not a rival. A daughter is a permanent address. That is the one wall in this entire situation that no baby plan, no soft interview, no birthday song, no fresh tattoo will ever climb over. And that wall? It was standing tall long before Claressa ever walked into the picture. You can't fight a wall, bestie. You can only stand in front of it and slowly realize how tall it actually is. And the strongest woman in boxing is standing in front of the one wall her fists mean nothing against. Now, you want to know what that wall is actually made of, because this part had me speechless. Here is the detail that made me physically put my cup down and stare at the wall. The daughter, Kenzie, the one who gives him all that peace. She isn't just Papoose's baby. She is Remy Ma's baby too. Say it with me, slowly. The peace and the problem have the exact same mother. Let that marinate. Because it means every single time Papoose finds comfort in fatherhood, he is finding comfort in the one part of his life that Remy will forever be connected to. That bond does not end with the divorce filing, bestie. That bond ends when the world ends. And Claressa is standing on the outside of it, staring in through a door that was locked shut before she ever even arrived. And no key she owns, not fame, not gold, not titles, not love, is ever going to open it. Let that sink all the way in. And it gets even more brutal. Look at what she's been doing to try to break through. And this is where it goes from messy to almost cruel. Claressa has been working for this relationship. And I mean working overtime. The ringside appearances, the soft, submissive interviews that had everybody talking, the tattoo, the faithful little song, the public baby announcements, all of it, effort, all of it, a performance. And Kenzie performs nothing. She does absolutely nothing. She just exists, and existing is enough, because Claressa had to earn her place in his life, brick by brick, post by post. His daughter was born important. Claressa has been fighting to matter to him. His daughter never had to fight a single day in her life. And that, sis, is the kind of unfair that no effort, no love, no trying will ever balance out. You cannot outwork being born. Now imagine being the strongest athlete alive and losing a fight you can't even see. And that is the cruelest irony in this entire story. This is a woman with 2 Olympic gold medals, 17 world titles, the youngest female boxing champion in Olympic history. She has fought while pregnant, allegedly. She has fought without eating for 3 whole days. She has demolished every opponent they've ever put in front of her. This woman does not lose fights she trains for. But this fight, there's no training camp, no game tape to study. No opponent standing across the ring from her. She can knock out any woman alive, but she cannot beat the look on his face when he's holding his daughter. And that, bestie, that is the one loss in her entire career with no rematch clause. No appeal, no round 2. The bell rang and she never even got to throw a single punch. But here's where it gets even more twisted. Now she's trapped, and here's the trap, and it is absolutely diabolical. Whatever she does next, she loses. Watch this. If she responds, fans say she saw it. If she posts a cute little quote about being unbothered, fans say she definitely saw it. If she stays completely silent, fans say the jealousy angle hit home. If she shows love for his fatherhood, fans say she's performing. If she ignores it completely, fans say she's hurt. Every single move feeds the story. There is no response on this entire planet that ends this conversation. Because, and this is the part that hurts, this was never about what Claressa does. It's about what Claressa can't be. And what she can't be is the person who makes him look that calm. No comeback fixes that. No glow up fixes that. No new title, no new man, no petty post fixes that. Because you cannot win a fight where the scoreboard was rigged before you ever stepped in the ring. But wait, there's a version of this story where the real villain isn't Claressa at all. It's him. So let me flip this whole thing on its head, because there's a version of this story where Papoose is the villain. Stay with me, because let's be so real for a second. Why would a grown man post something that private, that soft, that vulnerable during the messiest chapter of his entire life? Theory 1, he genuinely needed the world to see something good, something clean, something with nothing to do with the mess. Sweet, innocent. But theory 2, bestie? Theory 2 says he knew exactly what that photo would do. He knew exactly who it would hurt. He knew exactly which comment section would light up. Did he post peace as a weapon? Because the second he hit share, a sweet father-daughter moment stopped being sweet. It became ammunition. And that might be the most calculated or the most tragic part of this whole thing. You decide which. But either way, one thing is certain. That little girl gave him something no woman in this entire saga ever could. And he knew it the exact second he pressed post. Because here's the saddest truth of them all. When your piece gets turned into someone else's pain narrative before the post even finishes loading, you never actually got to be at peace. You just handed the internet fresh material. A quiet Tuesday with his daughter couldn't even stay quiet for 5 minutes, and that is the real tragedy. Not the receipts, not the timeline, not the drama. The fact that even the beautiful things in this man's life got turned into ammunition. Peace versus chaos. Kenzie versus the headlines. A father-daughter bond versus a whole year of public performance. And the peace and the problem have the same mother. She was born important. Claressa is still fighting to be, and drama can be responded to, but peace cannot. You cannot clap back at a man smiling at his own daughter. There is no comeback for that. There is no receipt strong enough. And deep down, she knows it. Everybody knows it. So tell me, bestie, do you think fans are right that Claressa looked jealous? Or is the internet dragging her into a moment that has nothing to do with her? And that detail, Kenzie being Remy's daughter, does it change everything or just make it messier? Drop your take below. If this tea hit different, you know what to do. See you in the next video.